Hello, everyone. I'll be doing a presentation on Unreal Engine Beyond Games, powering the future of real-time experiences. And I would like to share my screen. It's a PowerPoint presentation. Please bear with me a second. Can I confirm if my screen has been shared? Can everyone see my screen? Just give a thumbs up, please. All right, so today I'll be presenting Unreal Engine Beyond Games, powering the future of real-time experiences. The inspiration behind this presentation is I've spoken a lot of developers about the engine, the Unreal Engine, and a lot of people still seem to know a little or nothing about the engine. So I got inspired to share a little bit about the potentials of the engine, the advantages of the engine over other engines, a lot of things people are missing out that they could leverage on in the games industry. To start with, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Rufus Oluwabukunmi, and I'm a seasonal game developer. I've worked on a number of mini projects that I've sold to other developers, starting from actualizing the proof of concept to developing the real time experiences to launching the game itself. So going back to my slides, we have a list of objectives in this presentation, and a couple of things I would like to be sharing is introducing Unreal Engine, how is a real-time creation platform, and showcasing the versatility and potentials of the engine, highlighting the core advantages and the technologies the engine has, emphasizing the engine's ecosystem and tool integration. We'll be looking at how how the engine inspire creativity and commercial innovation. So I'll be going to my introduction now, and just bear with me, please. I'm having to go through. All right. All right. Unreal Engine. I was in a presentation, I was in a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and I mentioned Unreal Engine to the group, and nobody seemed to know what Unreal Engine is. So let me just say, Unreal Engine is a game, is a core game development engine that is used to make games. Yeah, it has been used to make a number of games over the years. If you're familiar with the popular game called Fortnite, is a PvP game where players join a battle royale, and um, they destroy the loot in order to remain victorious, to remain the only player in the game. So Unreal is basically used to create games, and I'll be telling a story about it as it started in the world of video game development, and it ended up changing the way we create everything in game development. It was just a tool for making game initially, but Unreal Engine has evolved from just a tool used to create game and is now used by engineers, is used by architects, is used by VFX artists, is used in filmmaking. So just beyond Unreal Engine being used to make games, because it's basically a game engine. Nobody would ever think a game engine can evolve into an engine that will serve all these other purposes. So I'll just be giving us a little bit of background about how the engine came to play, and it was primarily an engine used by developers that has a collection of tools, and it allows developers to design worlds and create virtual environments. So over the time, people began to realize that this engine is not just an engine to make games. Like I said, people began to do different things like visualization. A couple of years ago, BMW was trying to create um, a visual scene or like visual presentation of their upcoming vehicles. What they did was to create an environment in Unreal Engine and showcase it to their investors and to the public in general. And nobody believed the engine had such capabilities. The evolution of a real engine has been said how it evolved. So now we'll be going to the potentials. The potentials. So I'll be discussing how Unreal Engine has been used primarily in filmmaking, in science and simulation, Unreal Engine in automotive and manufacturing. I've mentioned a piece of how BMW used this engine to create a visual representation of their upcoming vehicles. So I would like to play a video here. I hope the video will play. I was really hoping it to play, but let me just click on the button and can have a can have a look again. So the video I've played is a cut scene from the movie Ford versus Ferrari. In Ford versus Ferrari, the producers had a choice to use a green screen or either create a virtual environment where cars scenes can be captured of involving car chases, involving the race because Ford versus Ferrari is a race-driven movie. Like it involves two um two protagonists trying to win a race. So what the producer did was they had to explore their options. We have option A and B. What would provide the best results at the most affordable rates? Using green screens and using VFX and all that will cost them more money and will cost them more production time. But in this movie, Unreal Engine was adopted over the traditional way it could have been done because it's more affordable and it saves time. I never believed the movie was Unreal Engine was used to in making this movie because when I saw the scenes and how they were captured, it was unreal. Like it was like, no, this is too clean for this to come out of a game engine. I couldn't believe because I use the engine personally as well. But when you begin to look at the potentials and the things you can do with this engine or the things that has been done with the engine, then you believe like there's nothing that cannot be created in this environment because it provides the necessary tools to developers. It has the render quality, it has the power and the performance. I'll be going forward again to explore how it is used in the um, automotive and manufacturing in the industry. Unreal Engine has a real time it has a real time simulation system whereby simulations can be carried out to save costs in a controlled environment rather than incurring costs to create simulations. So what I'm saying in essence is that um, engineers use Unreal Engine to carry out simulation of engines performance. They would extract data from this simulation to improve better on the engine. It could be the engine from a vehicle, it could be the engine from a jet engine, it could be the engine from, it could be anything. But what they do is they do this in a controlled environment virtually before they bring that to life. And the data extracted from the virtual environment is then used in the real world to create the best engines, to create the best productive engine. So I'll be showcasing a prototype I created in Unreal Engine, and this is one of the prototype I said I created for a developer because we collaborated on a game together, and the this was more like a proof of concept. Like, I have an idea. I'll go into Unreal Engine. I'll bring together the pieces, the models, the VFX. I'll use the basic things available to developers in Unreal Engine to prove my concept that okay, this idea is sellable or this idea feels good. There's something called a game feel before a game is pushed to be produced or is a project is embarked on. So it's more like a rough prototype we would create and say, do you think this idea will sell? Do you think our the end consumers will love this idea? So when we create this field, we'll share this idea in the community, post on Twitter, post on Twitch, post on Reddit, and get feedback from people whether it's something they would like for us to like push um into the maybe Steam or the App Store for them to play. So I'll be playing this video as well. It's just a rough prototype that was created just for a proof of concept of an idea or like a game, a game development before the project was embarked on. This project is currently in development at the moment and it's got a release date for next year, second quarter. So let me just play the video so I can have a look at the concept. So just all right, so I think we get the idea. This game is an endless runner shooter game, and the idea is the further the player character travels, the harder the game becomes. I want us to think about this game like Subway Surf. In Subway Surf, we have so many variables, and the variables are more like you pick up the coins and you get chased by a police officer. And the further you travel, the faster you go. So it's leveraging between the game difficulty and also the ability of it to cover more distance. So this is a prototype that is used for proof of concept, like I said, and the game is currently in development. Is an idea that when it's released, I would like to post for people to play and try out. But the development has gone far beyond this stage. If you see the development compared to what a prototype is, you will say no, they are two different games, but you would be able to, you would know this is where the idea came from. I'll be proceeding to highlight the core advantages and the technologies in Unreal Engine. I've been saying a lot about the potentials. I've said a lot about how it is being used in the film industry, the automotive industry, and as well as the science and simulation industry. So highlighting the core advantages, why would I choose Unreal Engine over other game engines? Actually, I started from developing, I'll call them mini projects in Unity. And Unity is an engine that uses a programming language called C Sharp. C Sharp is good, don't get me wrong. But the limiting factor here is that Unreal Engine is trying to create an environment for developers, whether you know how to code or not, whether you love to code or not, whether you want to go through the hassle of coding or not. So I used Unity for about a couple of months. C Sharp, I created a mini project and a friend of mine introduced me to Unreal Engine. At first, I was like, what is Unreal Engine? Unreal Engine. It does not even sound real, unreal. So I took our time to explore the engine. I saw videos and I got convinced that it was something I could leverage on to improve as a fresh, as a fresh game developer in the industry. The first advantage I'll be listing here is Unreal Engine is free to use, completely free to use compared to other game engines. Initially, Unity was free to use, but you had to pay for the main things you needed to like push a game out or push a project out. So Unreal Engine is very accessible to developers everywhere. If you type Unreal Engine, you can download the engine on any system and it will run smoothly. So whether you're a creator, a small studio, a large enterprise, the engine has its potentials to deliver for whether small, medium, or large scale business. And I've been using this engine for about 3 or 4 years to make all these mini projects. And I'm also working on a project I'm looking to push out next year myself. The second advantage I'll be looking at is the photorealism and visual quality. I'll be showing a picture down here, and I would like us to look at the level of details or quality in rendering, the rendering power of Unreal Engine compared to Unity or compared to Godot or like other engines is unmatched. The level of quality you will get for free and the libraries of let me say materials, because typically this is a material right here. The details of inequality of materials you will get for free is unbelievable. I would like us to look at this picture also. This is an environment in the Unreal Engine space, and this environment is even available to be downloaded for free. Unreal Engine tries to support its community by pushing out free content created by people in the same community so that the community can go stronger. So I would say Unreal Engine is just unmatched compared to other engines, and the way the community is strong and ready to support each other. The third advantage here is it uses the power of blueprints. Initially, I said I was coding in Unity with C Sharp, and it was something I enjoyed when I began making mini projects in Unity. Although I only made one mini project in Unity before I switched to Unreal Engine. But when I go into Unreal Engine, everything looked everything was based on visual representation. Unreal Engine uses a system called blueprints, and this blueprints now has something called nodes. The nodes are the codes you would normally type in Unity or in C Sharp. Imagine you have a system whereby you don't need to type a line of code, but you use visual representation to connect code to one another in a system whereby you can continually develop and integrate. The way blueprints work, blueprints are independent, but at the same time, they are dependent on each other. If you create a system that works, let me go back to this video. In this video, if you create a system for a gun, you need to create a blueprint for the character. The character, the gun is dependent on the character because the gun is an actor on its own. The player character is an actor on its own, but we don't use the word actor, we use the word character. For the player character, for the gun to be functional, there are lines of code that you need to, I will not say lines of code now, I'll say nodes because we are working in Unreal Game Engine. There are nodes you need to connect to make the gun functional because the player character is controlling the gun. So basically, Unreal Engine allows you to create systems that are independent, but also dependent on each other for your game or your project to run smoothly. I would like to go on to the um, fourth advantage. Seamless integration and ecosystem tools connect powerful creation tools into one workflow. Let me say this. Sorry about that. So seamless integration and ecosystem tools. The tools in Unreal Engine are created in such a way that they can communicate with other tools on other platforms. Let me break this down. As a game developer, there are so many qualities and so many skills you need to have. You cannot just be a game developer. You need to also have some kind of knowledge on how to create models for your game because models can be bought from the marketplace for free. They can even be gotten for free from the marketplace on Real Game Marketplace. But there are some custom models that are unique to the project you're working on. In the prototype I showed above, coming back to this, everything used here was free and was more like this is just more like a proof of concept, like I said. So every little thing used there was like, okay, I'm just creating a prototype. I'm not modeling anything for a particular project. But in such cases, when you are creating a project for yourself or for the community, you will need to learn how to use a 3D modeling tool like Blender or like a 3D modeling tool like Autodesk that would make you bring your idea into reality. A 3D modeling tool like Blender is well integrated with Unreal Engine. Let me break that down again. If you're creating a model in Blender, after you've packaged or you've cleaned up the model, you then need to export the model into Unreal Engine. There are so many exporting options you can use. You can use FBX, you can use DAE, you can use, there are so many exporting versions. Unreal Engine is developed in such a way that when you're exporting FBX or any version of the model, it will identify the version of the model you are trying to import, and it's going to break that down into a usable model in Unreal Engine. What's the point of having a model in Blender, and when you're done, you cannot use the model in your game? Like, Is that not a waste of time? Like you wasted all your time trying to make something for a custom game. You've wasted time, you wasted resources, you wasted energy. So why would I have a game environment? I cannot import my model seamlessly. So Blender is just one of the tools you tools I use personally. Other developers, they have their own preferred 3D game development tools that we use. They use to import their models into Unreal the Game Engine. I also like to mention a very important tool. It's called Megascan. And Megascan is where we get all these 3D environment materials. We call them materials. These are laid out materials. The materials, everything here you see is a material. The materials are used on models like rocks. If you see what we have is a rock, this is a rock, all these are rocks. So all these rocks are put together to create an environment that is appealing to the game players or the gamers so that they can enjoy the environmental appeal to its maximum. I would like to proceed that Unreal Engine is also cross-platform. And what do I mean cross-platform? The experiences I've had packaging projects in Unreal Engine has been seamless compared to Unity. If I'm packaging a game, I can package for Windows, I can package for Android, I can package for um, Apple, I can package for Nintendo, Sony, PlayStation. So imagine you are able to create this um, project in one environment. We are able to seamlessly package for all these, pardon me, for all these platforms. In the game world, we have a term called game porting. This is where when a game is made predominantly in a game engine and the developer will need to revisit or remaster the game so that the game can be used on another engine. It can be used can be played in another console like Windows or PlayStation or Xbox. Some developers predominantly create their games to work on one console or um one system or just Android. But imagine you have the flexibility of packaging one project on 7 different platforms at your own convenience. How good can that how much more good can that be? So the ability for this engine to be cross-platform for deployment of projects is just very outstanding compared to other engines that focus on creating a project and launching them on um, a user like a console alone or like Windows alone or Apple alone. Proceeding performance and scalability. I was working in Unity about maybe 3 years ago now. Unity is a system created for developers to make games. But this system can also struggle with scalability. What do I mean? If you're packaging a project in Unity, there are certain settings you need to go through, like a checklist. And this checklist is more like if I'm releasing this project, am I releasing this project for users with high-end computers that can play this game? Currently, I have a gaming laptop, and because I have a gaming laptop, I can run different games on my laptop. But considering a user that has a Core i3 laptop and is just 8 gig RAM and is they're unable to run the project I make. I want my project to be cross-platform in the sense that Anybody can pick them up, and the system will not struggle to run the game. I want the game to run smoothly on every um, system, or to be run by any user that purchases the game, because the more sales I'm able to make without refund. If you're selling on Steam, Steam will allow your end users to buy your game. They'll give them a time frame of 2 weeks or 3 weeks to do a refund. So imagine 60% of my users pick up my project or my game, my release game, and at the end of the day, they are returning the game back to me. I'm at a loss because of scalability and performance. Unreal Engine has the high-end visuals and is built for performance and scalability. When you package your game, um, your end users are able to run the game smoothly based on the settings you have applied to the project. Unreal Engine itself is able to run on lower end PC. Let me use the word lower end PC, or games that are not built to run certain applications. So whether you are thinking, oh, I need to get a gaming laptop to run the Unreal Engine because it's the engine is big. No, Unreal Engine is scaled, is well scaled, and it will also deliver the high-end visuals built in. I'll be moving on to a couple of things have been said already um about the mega scans and the libraries Unreal Engine provide to the community. Unreal Engine so much invests in the community that a lot of tools are being delivered for free. I would like to place our attention to this twin motion right here. So twin motion is uh, a system in Unreal Engine, basically, that is used by architects. It's a real-time design environment for architects to visualize environment, whereby they are able to bring their ideas into rea- reality. They're able to create a 3D environment for their investors even before the project is embarked on. And imagine you have a powerful engine that is able to like showcase this using a light system called Lumen, and everything comes to life and everything looks good. Another one is another tool I would like to call our attention to is Meta Human Creator. This is mainly for game developers. I will not say for game developers, but this is mainly used by game developers because the Meta Human Creator allows us to have more control over a control rig. A control rig is involves the bones. As humans, we have bones in our body, and the more control you have over the bones in a game engine, the more the more animation you're able to make, the smoother your game looks, the game feel, the game feel is just too good. So the mental human creator is a system that is in Unreal Engine that allows us creator have more control over the characters in the game, or characters that to be used in the game, or for filmmaking. The meta human is used in filmmaking as well. Like I mentioned earlier, Unreal Engine 2 is used for making films. I've mentioned a bit about Blender for 3D creation, Maya for 3D creation as well. And on this slide, I'll be talking about the marketplace and the power from the community. I've said a lot about the community, but the the community Unreal Engine has created cannot be matched with any other community when it comes to game development. As this community pushes out free content to developers every month. If you go on Epic Games, Epic Game is the parent company of Unreal Engine. If you know more about Fortnite, the company that made Fortnite is called Epic Games. Imagine providing free assets from the game Fortnite itself, a game that made billions of dollars. Unreal Engine provided free assets to its developers to create other environments or other projects using the assets from Fortnite. This is how powerful the community is. And this is how free Unreal Engine is trying to become. They're trying to give you assets from the projects they made billions from, and they're saying we're giving it for free. I would like to proceed, and I would have to say this is the end of my presentation, and I hope I've been able to uh, create some kind of awareness about the Unreal Engine and how easy, how free the engine is um, able to pick up and use by developers. A lot of developers are using Unity, Godot, and they are encountering different challenges, but they are too scared to switch to an engine because they don't know what to expect. But this is just a some kind of encouragement or a charge to developers out there, but anybody trying to get into the game development industry, that Unreal Engine is a piece of engine that can be picked up, can run on any system, has a very strong community, has a lot of tutorials, and anybody can do anything in Unreal Engine. Thank you very much for this presentation.